interception was kind of one of those plays that you just kind of want to have back and just throw away.
Of course, I feel like I do take some pride in throwing the ball away and just kind of living for the next down, and I didn't do it on that one. I saw kind of Dave turning up and just thought I had a chance there. I didn't think it would end in a pick. I thought if anything it would be incomplete. But yeah, it's one of those third downs. Listen, you got to play the game. You got to consistently make those right decisions. Even if you feel pressed to make something happen, you can't let that happen. So yeah, definitely want that one back.
Kevin said that he's not considering making a change at quarterback. So how do you feel about knowing that you have another?
Yeah, listen, I can't worry about that stuff anyway. It's honestly not on my mind. I got to go out there and just play my game, play the way I know how to, lead this team the best I can. All that other stuff, it's out of my control. It is what it is. I mean, the only thing I can control is how I play and how this team, shows up every day. So, it really isn't in the thought process. So.
How hard is it? Look like on one pass you're ready to throw to Sen and he gets knocked off his feet and you have to take a sack, and there were a couple of plays like that. Did it feel like there wasn't a whole lot of good targets out there?
No, I wouldn't say I felt like that. I mean, that's part of it, Like when you want to go win games and move the chains and score touchdowns, then you have to play clean football and you have to make all those things work. At the same time, you're not going to play perfect, and those things are going to happen, and you got to overcome them. And I think, in some respects, we got to cut down on some of those things, and in other ways, we got to do a better job of overcoming, because we understand that that's a part of the game and a part of what's going to happen every week.
Judkins ripped one off after you were removed from the game, but what kind of an impact did he have on running?
Yeah, it was good to see him out there. You could tell he's got some juice in his legs, and he's ready to go in there and hit it, and he's only going to get better and better with the more action he gets.
How about the sack fumble? Kind of what?
I don't know. I'm embarrassed about it. The fact that came out of my hand, and
Joe, was there any emotion after the first snap? I mean,
it was yeah. Listen, I've been here so much. I know that that's easy to talk about, but it wasn't. We're professionals, and you got to be able to go out there and play the game without really having that be a part of it. And I think I was. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was cool to see some ex-teammates, but you get to do that, here and there, depending on where you go anyway, because you're playing against guys that you've played with and stuff like that. So. I've said it all week. This place is a special place to play. The fans here are unbelievable. But beyond that, it's a football game. Listen, when you go out there and you strap it up, there's no mistaking, what football is, and you got to be ready to go. So I felt like I was today.
Pre-game, you talked with Coach Harbaugh at midfield. Can you share a little bit about what you talked about with him?
I don't even know if I remember. Just saying hi to each other, catching up, just kind of like everybody would if they hadn't seen each other for a little bit. Nothing special, nothing crazy, just good, normal stuff, He's doing a hell of a job over there, and it's cool to see guys that you've done some stuff with. So.
You guys didn't just lose. Obviously, you lost in a big way. Does that make this so much worse that you weren't able to come in here and keep it nice and close and give them a really tough game?
I think you always want to go give people a tough game and come out on the good side of it. Hey, anytime you lose, I don't think there's any way to make it better or worse. You definitely feel a little bit embarrassed when you lose like this, but that's part of what you got to deal with when you're in this league, and you're on we're all fortunate to be in positions we are, and I hope that we can realize that and just get back to work and prove that this was an anomaly and that it won't happen again.
How hard of a test is that, Joe, especially for a team with a bunch of young guys?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I think you could probably look at it either way. When you have old guys, young guys, I think those young guys in that locker room, they have a good head on their shoulders, and they're excited about going out there and making a name for themselves and being a part of a good football team. I think they're eager to just get out there and play good football. So I don't think we got to worry about them, and I think we have enough veterans to kind of lead the way on that. Listen, it's hard when you start off the season, the way we have. There's a lot of tests that you face in this league, and it's very easy to just put your head down, tuck your tail between your legs and run off. And, I just don't see that in the guys in that locker room. So, and I honestly didn't see it today. We're fighting out there, and we're doing, we're trying. Are we doing things to our best ability? Are we playing as good as we can? We're not. But we got guys that are trying hard in there, and I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to continue to have those guys do that same thing.
How about Cedric Tillman struggled a little bit early on, came back and made that touchdown catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Catch.
Yeah, listen, you got to be able to shake plays off and go out and do the next thing and just continue to just do things the right way. Just do your job. There's 11 guys out there, and they each have their own job, and that's what makes a football team go. It's not just one guy here and there going rogue and making all the plays. So I think you just got to focus on the little things, and we talk about that all the time. We talk about wanting to be a football team that doesn't make mistakes and doesn't beat ourselves, but at the same time, we also talk about being able to move past things like that, and hopefully we're building a bunch of guys that are capable of doing that.
Joe, in terms of, talking about change and you're back in Baltimore, as you're getting older and older, I know you said it's just a football game, but do you kind of take into appreciation, games like this and other games you'll get to play against X teams more so?
It's so hard to have that perspective when you're in the middle of it all. We're trying so hard to win football games, and that's really all you're worried about. I'm not playing because, I'm not out there playing football and taking the field every Sunday, just because I want good moments, and I don't know how to say it, but I'm out there playing because I feel like I can do it at a high level, and I want to win football games. It's really it's no different than it's been my whole career. And I think from the outside, it's easy to look at that and say, oh yeah, like he's done this, he's done that, he's just having fun. And I am having fun, but it's about winning, being a part of a winning football team, going to battle with those guys in the locker room. And I owe it not only to myself, but everybody in there to take it just as serious as I ever have. So I think it's very hard to put yourself in that mindset about, cool things about playing in the NFL. There's always that. Everybody should have a little piece of that in the back of their mind, to remind themselves as to why we do this. It is super cool job, but man, when you're out there on Sundays, it's as serious as anything, and we want to go win.
Joe, in retrospect, it was a very unique position you were in here, being, quote, in the middle of it all. Did you think you handled it properly?
With what?
Just coming back?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a proper way to handle it or anything like
Did it
that.
bother you at all leading up to this game that you were in this middle position of trying to win for Cleveland?
No.
Being honored by Baltimore?
No. I'm a part of this locker room right now, and I'm on the team with those guys, and I have relationships with this city, with the guys in that locker room. But man, I'm a Cleveland Brown right now, and I'm glad to be one. And there was no this or that in terms of that, man. I love this locker room. I love the guys in that team. So grateful to be where I am with those guys, and glad to go to battle with the side that I was on today.
Given that you do have a young supporting cast around you, is it even more imperative for you individually to play as clean a ball as possible?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, look, our defense is playing really well. Early on in my career, we had some really good defenses, and it wasn't like we were lighting the world on fire on offense, but we were doing good things. We were playing good football. I think, until we make that next step, I think we have the ability to play like that, play good football. We don't have to go score 50 every night, but we can play good football and put up enough points and let those guys on defense pin their ears back and go do what they do. So yeah, that's the disappointing part. I think we have the ability to do that right now, and then maybe take the next step, a few games from now. So hopefully we can, hopefully that starts showing up a little bit.